proclamation on International Disability Day. And now, let's welcome to the podium the Right Worshipful Charles R. Gosling, JP, Mayor of the City of Hamilton. You can applaud.
Thank you very much, Town Crier. Minister of Youth, Social Development and Seniors, the Honourable Tanae Ferbert, members of the Disability Advisory Council, distinguished guests, good afternoon and festive greetings to you all. It is a pleasure to welcome you to City Hall. Today we come together to recognize and raise awareness for the International Day for Persons with Disabilities, a day observed globally on December the 3rd. This year, our focus is on an incredibly important theme: amplifying the leadership of persons with disabilities for an inclusive and sustainable future. This theme highlights a crucial message. Persons with disabilities are not just contributors to our community, but also leaders with the power to shape a more inclusive and more sustainable world. It calls us to ensure that persons with disabilities are central to decision-making processes and actively engaged in shaping policies that impact their lives as well as impacting ours. Their leadership is essential not only for inclusivity, but also for the greater societal progress we all aspire to achieve. Here in our city of Hamilton, we are proud of the strides we have made to be physically friendly and accessible. However, we also acknowledge that there is always more work to be done. Inclusion is a continuous journey, and we remain committed to listening, learning, improving, and implementing for our community for all. I would like to extend my gratitude to all disability-related organizations represented here today. Your tireless advocacy and dedication continue to inspire and guide us all. So thank you all, and let's continue working together to build a more inclusive, equitable future for everyone. So welcome to City Hall steps. Welcome to Hamilton, Bermuda at its best. Thank you all very much.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to welcome the Honourable Minister Tanae Ferbert, JP MP, the Right Worship Charles Gosling, JP MP, and all of you here today on behalf of the Disability Advisory Council. I meet you here as DAC Chair, Disability Advocate, Disability-Related Organization Chair and Board Member, Special Needs Parent, and like many of you, a person with a disability, an invisible disability for myself. Welcome to the International Day of Persons with Disabilities Proclamation Day event. Thank you. It is a pleasure to have all of you here today as we come together to honor and celebrate the incredible contributions of individuals with disabilities in our community and beyond, and celebrate the 2024 IDPD theme, amplifying the leadership of persons with disabilities for an inclusive and sustainable future. This day is not just a commemoration, it is a call to action. It reminds us of the importance of inclusivity, understanding, and respect for all abilities. We gather here to share stories, inspire each other, and start or continue your journey to break down barriers and foster an environment where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Let's use this moment to amplify the voices of those with disabilities, recognizing their achievements and commit ourselves to creating a more inclusive society. Together, we can embrace diversity and ensure that everyone, regardless of their abilities, feels valued and empowered. Thank you to all who have made today possible, from those who have volunteered their resources and services, our disability-related organizations represented in front of me, the community, and especially persons with disabilities in our population. As you listen to the presentations from organizations and our incredible leaders with disabilities, taking the words proclaimed by the Honorable Minister today, Farbert, and learn more from the organizations present and mingle together as one, my hope is that each of us carry the excitement and nostalgia from today into tomorrow and beyond by living out my personal call to action by committing to make advocacy, accessibility, diversity, equality, equity, and inclusion a daily thought and action until these words as concepts are no longer required. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Isn't it a beautiful day to be celebrating United Nations International Day for Persons with Disabilities? Wouldn't you agree? Yes, we got a beautiful day. It is an honor to address our community in recognition of the United Nations International Day of Persons with Disabilities, recognized universally today, December 3rd. The theme for 2024 is amplifying the leadership in all areas of persons with disabilities for an inclusive and sustainable future. This includes promoting the leadership of persons with disabilities in all areas of life, ensuring the inclusion of persons with disabilities in all aspects of society, increasing the participation of persons with disabilities in decision-making processes, raising awareness on the rights of persons with disabilities, celebrating the achievements of persons with disabilities. We know representation matters. Having people with disabilities in leadership positions indicates more inclusive spaces and communities. It also helps to bring forward different perspectives and solutions that can account for a wider set of needs. Furthermore, when identifying needs and solutions for challenges facing persons with disabilities, the international rallying cry of disability activists globally must come to mind and be respected. That is, nothing about us without us. This means that persons with disabilities must be included in decisions that impact their lives. The government is committed to ensuring consultation and inclusion of diverse voices and experiences within our work. This is a key reason for creating the Disability Advisory Council and was embodied in creating the National Plan for Adults with Intellectual Disabilities. Our recent ratifications with the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities not only demonstrates our commitment to ensuring rights are upheld, but it is a calling to commit to further action for a more inclusive island. And it takes all of us to ensure that persons with disabilities have their voices heard. I want to personally acknowledge the Disability Advisory Council for all the work that they do and for organizing today's proclamation and working to promote other disability-related organizations in our community. I want to thank all the participants that are also here today. Thank you for taking the time to come out to celebrate with us. It would be a remiss of me not to mention that International Day for Persons with Disabilities falls within the 16 days of activism to address gender-based violence. This overlap is intentional, as persons with disabilities, and in particular, women with disabilities, are more at risk of abuse or violence. As a community, we all need to take leadership to call out and report violence. This includes calling out negative stereotypes, language, and attitudes towards persons with disabilities that can result in discrimination, exclusion, and violence. Finally, I am thankful to see all the collaboration of the organizations that are here today as they promote their work and the rights and well-being of their clients. I encourage our community to support disability-related organizations and show your commitment to creating a more inclusive Bermuda. At this time, I'm now going to read the official proclamation for International Day for Persons with Disabilities 2024. Whereas the resolution of the United Nations General Assembly has adopted the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Whereas the Human Rights Amendment Act 2000 is a document in Bermuda that sets the standard for attaining the goals of full participation for and integration of persons with disabilities. Whereas 2024 marks the 76th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Whereas persons with disabilities should be assured access to the fundamental elements of daily life that are available to all members of our community. Therefore, I, the Honorable Tanae Ferber, JP, MP, Minister of Youth, Social Development, and Seniors, and hereby proclaim the day of Tuesday, the 3rd of December, 2024, to be observed as the United Nations International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Furthermore, we call upon everyone in Bermuda, and I say everyone, to work together to ensure a Bermuda that is inclusive for all. Thank you.
Thank you. As this is not part of my speech, but I think it's important to mention, because those of us in this realm, as parents, as people who support persons with disabilities, there's a few of you who would know this was not the plan. And I actually want to mention this because this is just how life is for people with disabilities, that things don't always go to plan, but we make it work. And I want to encourage you all to keep making it work when things don't go to plan. I mentioned that we would have some presentations from persons from disability-related organizations, and also examples of leaders with disabilities in our community. We will have those presentations now, and we'll run them back to back. I will introduce all of them to you first, and then I will just ask that they do their presentations one after the other. So first, we would have Ms. Lisa Reed from the Human Rights Commission, followed by Dr. Janae Harvey from Tomorrow's Voices, Ms. Soleil Thomas from Special Olympics Bermuda, Ms. Kiana Dalbota from Aging and Disability Services, and last but not least, Ms. Sherry Lynn Lilly from Inspire Bermuda.
Good afternoon. Good day, everyone. My name is Lisa Reed, and I am the Executive Officer of the Bermuda Human Rights Commission. And for those in our audience who may have a visual impairment, my visual descriptors are that I am a woman of African Caribbean descent. I have very short, dark, curly brown hair. I am wearing a black dress, pink reading glasses, and I am a wheelchair user with a red scooter. As a proud member of this community who has a disability, I am pleased to join in this event to celebrate people with disabilities. I have pride in my disability and the uniqueness of my perspectives, which have driven my sense of purpose in advocating for equity and inclusion here and throughout the world. Disability is part of being human. Anyone can become disabled at any point in their life. A disability may be cognitive, developmental, intellectual, physical, sensory, or a combination of these categories. A disability can be present at birth, like myself, or acquired during one's lifetime. I have used a wheelchair for most of my life, and while I don't always think of my disability, society reminds me on a daily basis when I am unable to fully access a restaurant or a public sporting event such as Cup Match, or a family gathering at a home that is not fully wheelchair accessible, or a beach, or when faced with exclusionary or discriminatory practices. Living with a disability often requires resilience and adaptability, which can make one stronger and more resourceful. Living with a disability often means navigating a world that was not designed with us in mind. Living with a disability often means confronting physical, societal, and attitudinal barriers that seek to define or limit our potential and quality of life. Disability inclusion reflects a commitment to understanding the relationship between the way people function and how they participate in society, and ensuring everybody has the same opportunities to participate in every aspect of life to the best of their abilities and desires. In Bermuda, there are already commitments and obligations in place at the national level, which should result in those with disabilities being able to fully participate in society, free from discrimination and the denial of their human rights. However, we know, despite these obligations and statutory requirements, this is not the reality for people with disabilities. Under the Human Rights Act, it is illegal to discriminate against people based on their disability in employment, when seeking to access goods, facilities, and services, and in housing and accommodation. Yet, since 2018, the protected ground of disability has been one of the most frequently identified grounds of discrimination at the Human Rights Commission. These matters have included people with disabilities being denied work, being subject to discriminatory employment practices, people with disabilities not being afforded equal access to information and education, people with disabilities being denied access to public services and transport systems, new restaurants opening without ensuring access and full inclusion and consideration for people with disabilities, and the existence of barriers to health, well-being, and prosperity. Disability inclusion is the duty of every member of our community. It's not just about ramps and accessible doors. It's about breaking down prejudices and amplifying our voices and creating opportunities for people with disabilities to thrive in every aspect of life. The Human Rights Commission is a public resource, and anyone can call, visit our offices, or email with any queries or concerns if they feel their rights have been violated, or if they seek information to ensure their practices are compliant with the Human Rights Act. As we honor International Day of Persons with Disabilities and the theme, Amplifying the Leadership of People with Disabilities for an Inclusive and Sustainable Future, we must reflect on the disability advocacy principle, nothing about us without us. Nothing without us. Nothing about us without us. Nothing about us without us. This principle underscores the decisions affecting people with disabilities and must involve direct participation and must be informed by the voices and experiences of people with disabilities. In closing, let us reaffirm our commitment to a community where every voice is heard and where every person with a disability is empowered to thrive in a community and live with dignity, access, and equitable opportunity. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a wonderful introduction. I'm here, Janae Harvey, on behalf of Tomorrow's Voices, just to give a little insight on who we are and what we do at Tomorrow's Voices. So Tomorrow's Voices is an autism early intervention center. We work with individuals who have autism as well as other developmental disabilities. We have a number of different programs, including our in-house clinical program, our early intervention program, and our Thrive and Beyond 21 program. We also have a Saturday social skills program, as well as a summer program for individuals who are interested. To ensure that we are advocating with parents and supporting parents, we do have a parent support group that is facilitated through a parent directly. So if that is something that you're interested in, we do have that. They go through a number of different opportunities, such as chat and chew, just talking to one another, going on social outings together, bowling and different things like that, as well as having guest speakers from various entities. So even if you are a guest speaker or you'd be interested in speaking with parents from that angle, that's a little bit of what we do. So we have been founded by parents to hear from parents, hear from me as a whole. If you have any specific questions about who we are in our community, feel free to stop to our booth so that we can further address any questions. Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kiona Balboa, Manager of Aging and Disability Services. And just give a bit of information about our services, who we are and what we do. Aging and Disability Services, or ADS as many people refer to us, we are under the Ministry of Youth, Social Development and Seniors, and we provide a range of services to seniors and persons with disabilities to address their needs. The mission of ADS is to support and protect persons and to protect seniors, and persons with disabilities who are at risk of abuse and self-neglect via compliance, program delivery, education, and stakeholder collaboration. For our senior abuse investigation and reporting, we receive and investigate reports of senior abuse, and we also maintain the Senior Abuse Register. For case management, we offer assistance with care needs assessments, coordinating care, and identifying access to services. We also provide seniors and persons with disabilities information about community and government resources. We also provide education, develop and implement public education and awareness events to enhance the community's awareness and understanding of our services. Aging and Disability, K. Margaret Carter Center, also falls under the Aging and Disability Services, and K. Margaret Carter Center manages enrichment and training programs for persons over 18 with cognitive and developmental physical disabilities. We also provide support and planning, development, and coordination of policies and programs for seniors and persons with physical and intellectual disabilities. Aging and Disability Services also oversees the implementation of the Disability Register. We had our launch in April of this year. The Disability Register is to be able to identify persons in Bermuda that have a disability, and we help to align them with services and help to inform government policy in terms of putting the relevant supports in place for persons with disabilities in Bermuda. We're actually registering persons today here at our tent at Aging and Disability Services. So you or a family member or anyone you know that needs to be registered on the registration, please come and see us at our tent and enjoy the rest of this day. Have a good one. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lay Thomas. I am an athlete leader of Special Olympic Bermuda. My disability is Down syndrome, a genetic condition that affects the development of the brain and body. I have faced many challenges due to my disability, but my family and Special Olympics Bermuda have helped me to continue to be a vibrant, motivationally and inspired person I choose to be. Since joining Special Olympics, I have trained in swimming, track and field, and kayaking, and I have competed locally and internationally, including at the 2019 and 2023 Special Olympics World Games held in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, where I please forgive me, required silver and bronze medal. 2022 was appointed as an athlete leader. This position allowed me to influence, inspire, and engage my peers, find new talent, receive training, and learn new skills while embracing. Additionally, responsibilities on and off the sports field under the direction of my mentor Renita Easton. Conferences with other athlete leaders in the Caribbean. I also sat on the board where I participate in decision making, progress, provide input, give them unique point of view as someone with international disability. I also sat on the fundraising and event committees. These skills and the reputation of Special Olympics have also served as a stepping stone too. Opportunities for inclusion in the community. I have represented the Bermuda Down Syndrome Organization and the United Nations World Down Syndrome Day in the USA. I am a member of the Nation Policy for Adults with International Disability and the Families Implementation Team, where I sat on the advocacy. And communication committee led by Shasha. There are many things that I love about Special Olympics, like opportunities to make dreams come true that I felt never could have happened, are the best feelings, accomplishments, like seeing my dreams come true to produce a fashion show. Through the Youth Intervention Grant, ICO produced my very own fashion show, Proud to Be Us. Where I had to learn everything from budgeting and event management to manage people and expectation. Special Olympics give me many opportunities to learn new sports, advocacy, and life skills, and engage in opportunities and experience that I had peers likely would never have been able to do.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
How do I follow that? Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, no. Good afternoon, everybody. It is the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Hello. Woohoo! I'm the noisy one up here because, of course, this happens once a year. And a lot of us are going to walk away from today and not cheer this day on again until next year. So I'm going to make as much noise as I could possibly make for the balance of the day. I am so glad that Soleil went in front of me. My name is Sherry Lynn Lilly. I am the Executive Director of Inspire Bermuda. We are an advocacy charity. So our responsibility is to support all the agencies that already exist in this space and do this work in whatever way we can. So whether that's helping you to understand what your clients need, whether that's us helping you to develop the voice to ask for what you need, or whether it's just coming alongside and supporting you in your various events within your charities and your organizations. That's who Inspire is. We have a table here. We have some coloring books. You can go and color if you like, or you can take one. When I come down, I'm going to come, and if you want to go for a walk with me so I can show you how I use my cane, you can do that. But we want to welcome you to attend our table. And also, we are gauging the interest of people with disabilities that might be interested in a support group. So this is just gauging the interest so that we can figure out how to do this in the best way. So today, I want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about the actual theme of leadership. Because the theme is amplifying leadership. And I want to talk about it for a second and use my story to kind of intertwine this concept, to take it beyond just words. We've heard a lot of words today. When Sasha, the chairman of DAC, she gave us a whole slew of them: equity, inclusion, equality, diversity. When the minister came up, she talked about having a seat at the table. So we have all of these concepts, all of these ideas, all of these words, and we're learning them, and we should. But I want to bump it up a notch, because I learned from John Maxwell that leadership is influence. Can you say that with me? Leadership is influence. I do not wish to have a seat at your table out of pity. I do not wish to have a seat at your table if only I am there to fulfill your diversity and inclusion policy. I want to have a seat at your table if you recognize that I have something powerful to say, that I have something powerful to contribute, that I can be transformational, I can be a change leader. So I want to speak to all of the persons here today that are living with disabilities and the family members and the allies. Don't just stick us at a seat at the table. We have so much more to offer than that. I recall when I was starting with my team, the charity, some of the challenges that we were going to be facing as we discussed moving forward. And yes, we faced them. Questions. People wondering, how do you have a team with all these blind people and one-sighted person? How are you going to get this done? We had information sessions, and we had people that came and took notes so they could figure out how to undo what we were trying to do. If I could put on my other hat, I am the proud owner, CEO of Numa Counseling and Consulting. I'm also the proud owner and CEO of Heal Creative Coaching. And as a person that is living with a disability, I believe it was Lisa that highlighted the fact that this world is not set up to support us. And so again, in order for my leadership to be influential, I had to show up. I have to show up all the time. And in the beginning, I thought, well, Sherry, if you show up, then that's going to be what opens the door. And you know what I found? I found that when I showed up big in my disability, with my skill set, people, I'm just going to tell it like it is, felt even more threatened and began to close doors or marginalize or pick my brain but not give credit. And so I had to understand that in order for my leadership to be influential, I had to be a leader, I had to be an advocate, I had to be bold, I had to be courageous. People with disabilities that are here in the space today, whatever your skill set is, whatever your dream is, do not let anyone tell you that you are not influential. Do not let them stick you at the table to fulfill their diversity and inclusion policies, and then don't actually listen to your voice. Demand, command your space with your voice, and work toward being a leader that is influential. So I want to leave us today with a challenge to Bermuda. I don't want us to walk away today and say, wow, that was great. I learned some new words today. Those people with disabilities are A-OK. Let me see where I can make a donation. Please do all of the above. However, when the person like myself steps forward and says, I'd like to start a business, don't go, they're there. Sure. What little business would you like to start? I want to challenge us today to actually make the space where persons with disabilities can actually be influential. Not just conceptual, but influential, where our voices actually are heard, actually documented, and actually given credit for. That is my challenge to us as we continue to expand upon these ideas and concepts of what inclusivity actually looks like. So please do invite me to the table, but only if you really want to hear my voice. God bless you.
Thank you all for your very inspirational and informative presentations. That concludes our presentations for today. However, we still will be here for another hour, and I encourage all of you to visit our organizations that are here. If you're familiar with them, get reacquainted. If you're not, learn more about them. And let this continue beyond today, I was going to say beyond tomorrow, but tomorrow and beyond for the betterment of all with disabilities. Thank you.